Here we have the quadratic equation x squared minus 6x equals to 10. And we have to determine the number of real roots and the type of roots. So in other words, if they're rational or irrational. And so you can see here, what we're going to do is first off, just move all the terms to one side of the equation. So subtract both sides by 10 to get x squared minus 6x minus 10. Now to find the number of real roots and the type of roots, what we have to do is use the discriminant. That's what's called. And basically it's just the inside of the square root sign in the quadratic formula, if you recognize this as the quadratic formula. And there's a couple of rules here, in that if the discriminant is greater than 0, there are 2 roots. If it's equal to 0, there's 1 root. And if it's less than 0, there are no roots. And by roots, I mean real roots. There are complex roots, but we're not really going to cover that here. So anyways, b squared minus 4ac, that's what the discriminant is equal to. And if we take a look at our equation, our a, b, and c values are 1, there's a coefficient of 1 here, -6, and -10. And so we're going to plug those values into our discriminant, and if we solve, we get the discriminant is equal to 76. And so you can see this is greater than 0, so that means there are 2 roots. And as for the type of roots, well, here's a little trick. If the discriminant is a perfect square, in other words, 16, 64, something like that, the roots are rational. If not, they're irrational. So here you can clearly see 76 is not a perfect square, so this is irrational. And you can see how the reason why that is, if we cut the square root of 76, whatever the solution is going to be, it's going to have the square root of 76, and that's irrational. So here's our final answer. There are 2 roots, and they are both irrational.